This is the 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4. And despite it being the entry-level model, it's surprisingly well equipped. What it doesn't have though are 8 cylinders under the hood. So today I'm going to review it and see if Ram's Hurricane i6 can replace the beloved HEMI V8. So these days, it's very difficult to find an affordable truck, especially one that comes in for under $50,000. And Ram has a dizzying array of trucks to choose from this one, the base model Tradesman, all the way up to the $90,000 tungsten trim. So for 2025, the Ram has had a minor cosmetic update. It gets a slightly larger grille here at the front, redesigned bumpers both here and at the back, redesigned lights and also tail lights, and then no more incandescent lights, LEDs all around. So for 2025, you get a choice of a quad cab or this crew cab, and then beds are available in a 5'7" or 6'4" size, and 2 or 4-wheel drive is available. The quad cab is only available on the Big Horn and this Tradesman trim. Since 2009, Dodge has been providing a double control arm front suspension and a 5-link suspension system at the back, meaning, and this is only my opinion, this is definitely one of the smoothest riding trucks that you can buy. And this one has conventional suspension, not the air suspension. That one is even better. So how much is it? Well, I did say that it's hard to find a truck for under $50,000, and this one is $6 over the price of a fairly cheap lunch. So $50,006 is the base price of this particular Tradesman, and it does have some options. So for $1,400, you get these powered trailer tow mirrors with manual fold-away. You also get trailer brake controller, trailer light check, and trailer reverse steering control. So some of the options on the sticker on this vehicle have been checked, but they're not actually on the vehicle. It does have a spray-on bed liner, and for $945, it's got this tonneau cover as well. Finally, it has the Tradesman Level 1 equipment group. That's $1,695. That gives you second row in-floor storage bins. Only in this case, they are not included. You also get a cloth bench seat. This one's actually plastic. Front and rear floor mats, a rear power sliding window, which it doesn't have, and 3 months of Sirius XM, which it doesn't have. This is a pre-production car, so it doesn't have some of these on there. So add that up, and your total price for this car is $54,980. So this doesn't have Ram's off-road package, so it gets these all seasons. They're Goodyear Wranglers, very good tire, 275/65s all around, wearing these very plain 18-inch wheels, but they are good for off-road because you're never going to scratch them up. So the big story for 2025 is under the hood. They've effectively replaced the HEMI V8 with 2 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engines, which they name SST, which stands for straight 6 turbo. So those 2 choices are the standard output engine, which this one has. It's got 420 horsepower, 469 foot-pounds of torque, or the high output engine for higher trims. That one puts out 540 horsepower, 521 foot-pounds of torque. Both of them are driven through an excellent TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic transmission. So in order to reduce lag, a pair of twin scroll turbochargers are mounted to the cylinder head integrated exhaust manifold. Each unit is fed by 3 cylinders, which results in a quicker than average spool up and no turbo lag. Ram does recommend 91 octane fuel for this standard output engine, but requires it to get the most out of the high output. What it does have is room for 3, and these are pretty comfortable squishy seats, a decent amount of headroom, a ton of legroom, and then you get some vents in the back as well. So inside, you know that you're in an entry-level vehicle. Seats are plastic. You adjust them with manual control. There's no heating, there's no ventilation on the seats. The steering wheel is also plastic, and it's missing the volume and track controls that you would normally get on a Ram vehicle. But having said that, material quality is still very good, and RAM has done a really good job with this car. And also you do get this middle seat instead of a real center console. So the standard screen on most trims is the 12-inch one, tablet style. This one is 8.4 inches, the smallest one on this particular model, but I do like the fact that you get a lot of physical buttons. And this one's pretty easy to use. It uses Uconnect 5. It's pretty fast. Down here you've got a physical volume, physical tune, screen off, lane departure warning, and you can mute the whole thing. Below that you've got your AC controls. It isn't climate control, so there's no temperature setting. A little basic, but it works. And then below that you've got your trailering controls. So RAM uses this controller for the shifter. I don't really like it. It's not my favorite, but it is kind of tied away, particularly when you have this middle seat. You've got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high, and then 4-wheel drive low. Head of the driver is a mix of digital and analog gauges. You got your tachometer on the left. On the right, you got fuel gauge and a speedo. I also have a central speedo set up, but you can scroll through this. You can go through driver assist systems. You can see I'm averaging 14.3 miles to the gallon. Pretty standard for me. There's your trailer tow, trailer brake information on the screen, what's playing, and then some messages. 2 decent cup holders here. A little bit of storage space in here, which I put my phone in, and then open this up, and you get a little bit of additional space. Okay, so let's take it for a drive. We're on some truck trails right now at the top of this mountain, so we'll take it on some truck trails. Nothing too crazy. We've got decent amounts of clearance. There's a hill up there that I want to test it on. Once we finish that, we'll take it on road and see how it drives. Very smooth riding. I mean, this is a pretty bumpy road. All right, so I know there's a hill up here, and we'll give it a go up there. So there's the hill ahead of us. I feel like it shouldn't have trouble, but I'm questioning whether I need to do 4-wheel high or do I need to do 4-wheel low? Well, let's test everything and stick it in 4-wheel low, just for shits and giggles. Absolutely no problem at all. Wow, I feel like the little compass had more problems than this thing's having. Impressive, especially at low speed. Really good test of how the power is getting transferred from wheel to wheel, but gosh, I am suitably impressed. Now the other hill that I normally take cars on, it sort of needs skid plates. We scraped a couple of other cars going up there, so I don't want to damage this thing. But that was pretty good. Well, we might go and test it on our little hill, little technical hill, and see how it does there. It's kind of a long vehicle, especially with the longer bed and the crew cab. And it's sort of a tight left turn, but I want to try it. So let's head over there now and let's see how it does. So here's our hill right ahead of us here. Put it in 4-wheel drive low. Okay. All right. Parking brake off. This bit at the top is where most vehicles tend to slip. A little bit of slip there. Holy shit. I mean, that was ridiculously easy. So just to be safe, I've positioned myself so I can go down, because I know that most cars that come from that direction tip like crazy, and this has got a lot of weight on the front. So I'm just gonna slowly make my way down here. Look at that. Good job, Ram. Okay, back in four-wheel high. The rest of this dirt road. And we'll jump onto some pavement and see how this engine really performs on road. Alright, so we'll put it into two-wheel high as soon as we're coming to the end of this little section. Get on the pavement. Let's see how it does. And it does a little wheel spin when you try and get off a dirt road onto pavement. Wow, it's got some pickup and no discernible turbo lag either. Yeah, this thing pulls like a train. Wow. Quick. Yeah, it definitely feels quicker than the outgoing HEMI. Doesn't sound as good as a HEMI. But for a big truck, it handles quite nicely. It did seem logical that once the straight six engine came along for the Grand Wagoneer, essentially replaced the 6.4 litre HEMI in the Grand Wagoneer, that it would eventually find its way into a Ram, and it has. Now the very base engine is a six-cylinder, naturally aspirated with the e-torque assist system. I'm trying to mash the pedal a little bit to make it sound good. Wow, it picks up really well. Transmission does very good shifts too. Really does mate well with the amount of torque that this engine has. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go past this car here. Holy shit, this thing has got some power. I mean, easily past. Wow. Yep. It's quick. It's properly quick. So how much faster is the 541 horsepower high output version in a truck? Because I feel like this is probably a little lighter than the Grand Wagoneer, which had that same engine in it, and that thing was fast. 0 to 60 in like 5.2 seconds. Oh, this pulls like a train. Wow. I dare say it doesn't really need any more power, but I'll take the other one if I can get a loaner. You're not going to be sad that the HEMI is gone. Nope. Nope. This thing is good. So what do we think? Well, I promise you, that you will not miss the HEMI V8. This is a much, much better engine. It's got 25 more horsepower, but more significantly, it's got 59 foot-pounds of torque more that kicks in at much lower RPMs. It's smoother, it's faster than the old truck, it's really good on-road, it's really good off-road, even without the RAM off-road package. I had a great time, and I think it's probably one of the best entry-level trucks that you can buy today. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.